Hi guys. Okay, so today we want to look at parallel versus perpendicular lines. And how do you tell the difference if the lines are parallel or perpendicular? Well, remember, parallel lines, like in the picture on the bottom left-hand side, parallel lines never meet. The reason they never meet is because their slopes are the same. So two lines are parallel if and only if their slopes are equal. And two lines are perpendicular, like in the picture on the bottom right, where they meet and form right angles. Two lines are perpendicular if and only if their slopes. Two lines are perpendicular if and only if their slopes are negative reciprocals. That means you flip them and change their sign, okay? So let's take a look at a couple of pairs of lines and determine if the lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So the first line here is y equals 2/3 x. And if I look at that line, it's already in y equals mx plus b form, so I know that my slope is 2/3. Now if I look at the second line, it's not in slope-intercept form. But if I was going to put it in slope-intercept form, I would add 2, so I'd have a positive 2x, and then I would have to divide by 3, so my slope is 2/3. Again, I could do the algebra and add the 2x, and then divide by 3, but you don't have to work the algebra out. But either way, you'll see that the slope is 2/3. And now that I know they both have a slope of 2/3, I can say that these lines are parallel. Okay, let's look at the next pair of lines. So 5x plus 2y equals 12. That line, if I was to solve, okay, let's take 5x plus 2y equals 12. We would first subtract the 5x. Then we would divide both sides by 2. So our slope is negative 5/2. Now I'm going to take the second line, 2x plus 5y equals 1. And if I put that in y equals mx plus b, or if you remembered the slope is negative a/b, you would already know what your slope is. We're going to subtract the 2x. And then we're going to divide by the 5. So now our slope is negative 2/5. These slopes are not the same. They are reciprocals, but they are not negative reciprocals. So these lines are neither parallel nor perpendicular. And let's look at the last pair. So now we have 5x minus 2y. So we subtract the 5x, then we divide by negative 2. So y is a positive 5/2 x minus 6. Now our slope is a positive 5/2. And notice that second line is the same one we had in B. So we already did that. Our slope is negative 2/5. Here we go. Those are negative reciprocal slopes. That means that these lines are perpendicular. They will cross to form right angles. Okay, one more thing that I want to do, and I want to do one of each. Suppose I ask you to write the equation of the line that is parallel to the given line and passes through the point. Now remember, parallel lines have the same slope, okay? So if we can find the slope of this line, 5x minus 2y equals 4, then we would know the slope of the line we want. So if we subtract 5x from both sides and then divide everything by a negative 2, y equals 5/2 x minus 2. Our slope is 5/2 halves. And they gave us a point, x1 and y1, and if we're given a point and the slope, we use the point-slope form of the equation of a line. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So it's y minus, the y value of the point is 1. Our slope is 5/2, times x minus, the x value of the point is 4. And now we have the equation of a line that's parallel to the original line but passes through the point 4, 1. Last question. Very similar, but now we're going to write the equation of a line that is perpendicular to the given line and passes through the given point. So remember, if they're perpendicular, they have negative reciprocal slopes. So the first thing we do, we have to find the slope of this line. So we're going to subtract the 4x. Then we're going to divide by -3. So y equals 4/3 x minus 2/3. The slope of this line is 4/3, but we don't want that slope. We want the slope of the perpendicular line, which would be the negative, change the sign, and reciprocal, flip it over. So our slope is -3/4, and it passes through this point where x1 is 4 and y1 is 1. And again, we have a point and the slope. So we use the point-slope form. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, or y minus, the y value is 1. Our slope is -3/4 times x minus, the x value is 4. And there we go, guys. Remember, parallel lines have the same slope. Perpendicular lines have negative reciprocal slopes. So if you want to tell if they're parallel or perpendicular, find the slope of each line and compare them. If you have to write the equation of a line that is parallel or perpendicular, you find the slope of the given line. Parallel, you're going to use the same slope. Perpendicular, you're going to take the negative reciprocal. Okay, guys, see you soon. Bye.